Today we are going to learn a new chapter from our course book Commutative English for class 7, and there's with chapter 4 Vikramaditya's and Throne part 1. Let's read the narratives. Narratives of King Vikramaditya are renowned for folklore and adventure tales. This is the story of the grand throne that was gifted to King Vikramaditya by Lord Indra. For his knowledge and insight, legend states that the scholars of Ujjain decided to bury the throne after the King Vikramaditya's death, as no king was worthy enough to ascend it. Many years later, Raja Bhuja found it and worked towards becoming an capable and able king as Vikram Aditya. And a fact is there that King Vikram Aditya and Raja Bhuja. King Vikram Aditya was Raja Bhuja's ancestor. Yes, very good. So जो विक्रमादित्य थे वो राजा भोजा के पूर्वज भी थे. Let's continue with the chapter. To continue this chapter, King Bhoja of the Parmara dynasty was a proud man. Okay, he was from Parmara dynasty. He had ruled his kingdom well, and people were prosperous and happy from his rule. However, recently the people of the kingdom complained about the man-eater. Man-eater you can suppose as a monster, Rakshas, who eats man, okay, attacking them at the outskirts of the kingdom. Her outskirts is a word जो हमने अभी पढ़ा है in the chapter. What is the meaning of outskirts? जो चैप्टर में outskirts का मीनिंग क्या है? तो outskirts का मीनिंग बच्चों ये होता है कि कोई भी एरिया जो आपके किंगडम के सिटी के आउटर एरिया, आउटर parts of a city, simple. And it seemed like the animals of the forest were slowly entering the kingdom, resulting in loss of life and property. And उससे क्या हो रहा था, जो किंगडम के एनिमल्स थे ना वो भी किंगडम के अंदर आ रहे थे. जो फॉरेस्ट से एनिमल्स थे वो किंगडम के अंदर आ रहे थे, एंड रिजल्टिंग इन लॉस इन लाइफ प्रॉपर्टी. ओके, immediately the king along with a small group, and after hearing this, the king with a small group ventured means went into the forest and went about killing the wild animals. They gone to kill the wild animals, and once the king and his man were reasonably certain that the beasts were no more to threat to people, they started their journey to the capital. Okay, and once they realized that now these beasts were no more a hazard to the people, they started their journey back to the capital. At the border of the forest, the royal group came across a beautiful garden. The king ordered his men to ask a owner for answer. So when they were going around the border of the forest, they see a wonderful and beautiful garden where there was some fruits, and the king ordered and asked his men to ask the owner for some fruits. When he heard a shout from above, the king looked up and saw a man standing atop of a high platform, chasing away birds that were coming into the garden. Just looking at the man made the king smile. The man seemed happy, almost as if he had no worries in the world. The man was this who was catching the birds. The king was about to open his mouth when the man said in a loud voice, I am Sarvana, I am the owner of the garden. Your mom and you look tired. Help yourselves to the fruit. So, and he nodded like this. The king broke into a surprised laugh as he nodded his head. He signaled his men to enter the garden. Just as the group stepped inside, something changed. They felt something special, and the king and his men were unable to explain it, but they definitely felt that something changed. The world suddenly seemed like a serene place where absolutely nothing went wrong. Serene means a calm place. Heady feeling came to the king as he feasted on the juicy fruits. He and his men had devoured many fruits when they heard footsteps of a man running towards, and उन्होंने बहुत सारे fruits तब तक खा लिए थे. You thieves, you selfish thieves, you look so rich and yet steal from a poor. The man shouted as he stopped right in front of them. He faltered for a second and then he saw that the person whom he had been yelling at was the king of the land. But then he started yelling again. You came to be the king and you steal from your own subjects. So the man who was yelling that don't see that the man was yelling at the king and of his own land. Okay, and he started yelling and speak like this. But one interesting thing was and surprising thing was Raja Bhuja was more than shocked because the man yelling at him was Shavana. Shavana only the owner of the garden and the same man who had asked them to take the fruits. Wow, he was surprised, right? The king and his men were bewildered. They were surprised and shocked. Savana was now almost yelling himself worse and calling the king everything from liar to thief. Like, you're not like this, you're not deserve to be a king. And he used bad words to the king, from liar to a thief and all. You asked me to take the fruits, said the king, feeling very embarrassed. And king was though embarrassed also. He was feeling that he had to say this in front of a man. Okay, so he was though उसे king को शर्म भी आ रही थी. So in that, Shavana looked menacingly. Me? You think I asked you to take these fruits? Just like that, I am taking care of this garden with the intention of selling the fruits for money. You think I would just give them away from free? Do you think me as a fool? Okay, so this was said by them. Okay, it means now Shavana says that menacingly means threateningly. That मैंने क्या मैंने तुम्हें कहा था कि तुम ये फ्रूट्स लो और वो भी ऐसे ही. मैं इस गार्डन की इतनी केयर करता हूँ, इतनी मेहनत करता हूँ. I do lots of hard work. Just like this, I have the intention of selling the fruits for money. I would give it you for free. Do you think I would do loss to me? I'm a fool. And a part of king was disgusted with the man, but his still lingering doubt remained in his heart. But he was still a doubt how this can happen. But as he was embarrassed, and finally he put out his gold ring and handed it over to the man. These are for the foods my men and I ate, he said dismissively as he looked in the garden. Think. And King was now disgusted at the man. But there was some questions and doubt remained, like how it can happen. The same man, now he's yelling at me. And then he was embarrassed, so he gave out his ring, gold ring, and he gave it to the man and said that these are for the fruits. Okay, he said dismissively. Okay, as he looked around the garden, and Sarvana's eyes were almost bulged out of the sockets. And when the king took out his ring, it was unbelievable. He cannot believe, and was staring the gold ring. He swallowed hard, nodding his head. How long you have had this garden? The king had asked with a certain he had the man's undivided attention. When he saw that the man is in a now it's undivided, उसकी इंटेंशन चेंज हो गई है. किंग ने उनसे पूछा कि ये गार्डन तुम्हारे पास कब से है. ओके, सो then Savana replied, it belonged to my father, sir. Now I am taking care of it. The man mumbled. He murmured, still looking at the ring. And he was still looking and staring at the ring. Let's go to next page. Zoom it a little. A minister of the Raja stepped forward. How on earth you have so many varieties of the growing in the garden at the same time? Savana shrugged. I don't know, sir. This field has been very lucky for us. None of the crop planted in the field have ever gone bad, and we have always had a bumper harvest, no matter what the weather. Okay, now a minister was surprised to see that on the garden are so many types of variety. As we know that fruits are seasonal. Apple grows in winter season and mango in summer season, right? So he was surprised. Watermelon summer, but not in winters, like that. But on that land, Savana said, I don't know, sir. This is very lucky for us. And जो भी क्रॉप हमने अब तक उगाई है, नो मैटर कोई भी सीज़न हो, वो हमेशा अच्छी ही उगती है और उसका एक बम्पर हार्वेस्ट होता है. Looked around wondering. Okay, and suddenly he turned to Savana and said, would you consider selling the garden to me? And then Raja Bhoja was interested in the garden and gave a proposal to Savana that क्या तुम मुझे अपना गार्डन सेल करोगी? Savana looked at him courteously and the king continued, no matter of fact. You will of course be paid and willing to pay the twice amount that you want. And the king said that I would give you the twice amount you want. But are you? And Savana looked at him guardedly. Okay, cautiously means guardly. Sarvana began to tremble with excitement. He could not believe his ears. Once again he looked down at the gold ring in his hand and then serious face on the king. And he realized that the king meant but he said slowly. Sarvana noted, I am not unwilling to sell my garden to you. And then Sarvana also agreed. And he was becoming greedy, so he also agreed. Sorry, there was a disturbance. Actually, I moved to the next page. No problem. Sarvana began to tremble with excitement. He could not believe his ears, and then he said like this. And Raja Bhoja smiled. I want to see the platform you were standing on chasing away birds, he said. And फिर then उसने कहा मुझे वो प्लेटफॉर्म देखना है जहाँ पे तुम बर्ड्स को चेस कर रहे थे. Today is one of the most important days in my life. Sarvana thought as he immediately led, and he was thinking in his mind that आज तो मेरी लॉटरी लगी. I am lucky today. And बिना बोले वो किंग को उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे ले गया. As soon as Raja Bhoja came near the platform, a great feeling hit me, a feeling of bliss and righteousness. The feeling was so powerful near the platform that Raja Bhoja stood mesmerized. He was spellbound, and he had visions of a very powerful kingdom where he saw himself sitting proud in the royal courtyard. Shook his head to clear it. And उसके राजा भूजा की माइंड में ऐसी सी विजन्स आ रही थी. Then Sarvana also looked happy. So the price that you are paying me for the garden is more than what I need. Kindly give me what is necessary and no more, he said. Raja Bhoja lifted his eyebrows, studying Sarvana. Okay? The price that I have promised to pay you is appropriate. My minister were here to make sure you have to pay fully. Sarvana nodded. The king gazed at Sarvana as the man walked away from the platform. The further away he went from the platform, the more he looked like someone who had just woken up a strong dose of reality. Being paid the promised sum, Sarvana departed. Okay, I think I need to explain it because they are very tough words. I think you don't know. And Raja Bhoja when lifted his eyebrows after saying that Raja Bhoja was willing to pay him the amount, but he then said that no, that's not necessary. You are saying. Okay, and as the man walked away from the platform, the further away he went, the more he looked like someone who had just woken up. And there was a strong dose of reality. And he was departed. But yes, being paid the promise, being paid the promised sum, Sarvana divided. He was very happy that I will get that much. The king now turned to his men. I want to excavate this place, not the entire place, just the place under the platform. The king smiled and added, I think you will be very surprised at what you find there. He was having a feeling, and then he said that तुम्हें इस place को खोदना है. खोदना, excavate means to dig. Okay. And is not the whole place, बस यही platform, place under this plan. And I am sure that जो भी यहाँ पे होगा तुम उसे देख के बहुत surprised होगे. And then if the minister found the behavior of the king odd, he made to no mention of it. He bowed his head and set about excavating the place with his men. And then the ministers obeyed the order of the king, and without any questions they started. But they were feeling that now the king behavior is something changed, odd from others day, but they made no mention of it. The king went back to the capital with the other members of the group. All afternoon, the king was waited impatiently for the news from his kingdom's ministers in his kingdom, and in the evening, the king was for a pleasant shock when he saw his minister himself rushing towards the capital on the chariot. The king saw the minister hurriedly stop the chariot outside the palace and come inside, ignoring the guards. Okay, so let me explain you all. I was saying now, I have to explain this, that it's just that the king was impatiently, and he was not patient, he was waiting, and then in evening it was a pleasant shock for him, and the minister, they rushed to the capital and told about that, and hurriedly stopped the chariot outside the place and come inside, ignoring the guards. Okay, it seems to be a great matter of interest, the king muttered as he went down to meet the minister. Minister started speaking without a preamble. Preamble means here without greeting the king. So you will not believe that what we have found. The king led the breathless minister towards the chair and made him sit. As the man continued speaking, there is a throne, sir, buried underground beneath the platform, he said. And then King Bhoja was just surprised that only a throne, and he expected a lot of things, but he got only a throne. Okay, and these are important words that I have underlined. It's not just an ordinary throne, so it's the largest stone I have ever seen. We have been digging since the morning, and we have able to explore only half of the till time I left, taking a deep breath. It is made of pure gold. The steps, there are 32 them, all in gold, your majesty, and the precious stone that decked the throne. The minister shook his eyes wide. I have never seen heard of precious stone that big. Each of 32 steps have a beautiful female statue. I have never seen a statue so fine, so lifelike, said the minister, his hands trembling with excitement. However, he was not done with his narration. The craftsmanship is really what made me nervous. Okay, Your Majesty, I have read in the scriptures about thrones being made that way. Okay, and that, but till that date, okay, never seen anything like it. I do not think that the throne was made on earth. The minister finished quietly. Raja Bhoja was deep in thought as the minister fell silent. He felt had read the scriptures about the people in ancient time visiting the gods in heaven. But all that was part of myths and legends. What just had been found? Was it really a throne made in heaven? If so, for whom was it made? Who was the person sitting on the throne? Raja Bhoja looked at the minister. Please make preparations for the throne to be brought to the capital as soon as possible. I think it's necessary for performing some rituals as well. A throne this ancient and one is capable of influencing the minds of the people around it cannot be ordinary. The king nodded more to himself to the minister, bring the throne to the capital. We may be able to find some more about the here. He concluded, and this was the part 1. Here in the last, the minister saw a throne which was purely made of gold, having 32 stairs, 32 steps, and on each step there was female like statue, and they were so lifelike, and all those female like statues were lifelike, and they were having precious gems and stones so big that ever have seen some minister. Okay, and it was not like a ordinary throne, and it was looks like this is made in heaven. And the questions were arising were that for whom it was made, that who was the person who was sitting on the throne. Raja Bhoja looked at them and said that to make preparations to bring that throne. Okay, so then this was a part 1. We will back with another part again. Thank you for watching the video. I hope so that you like our explanation, and please subscribe the channel as shown below.